You serious?
Hello, there are plenty of ways to kill an hour out there. Thank you for killing some time with us in advance. My name's Marcus Bronzy.
And my name is Nick Bright.
Yes, what's going on, Bright? Been a while.
I know.
Your first 2017 show.
I was going to say Happy New Year to all the How to Kill an Hour listeners, and also to you, Marcus, even though I've seen you in real life.
Yeah.
But this is the first time we've recorded together, so yeah. But the thing is, though, it is on the time of recording this, it's the 14th of January, so Happy New Year's lost its validity. It's over.
When do you stop saying Happy New Year?
I think the cut-off is like a week.
A week?
A week.
What, so on the 7th?
Yeah.
That's it, you don't say
It's
anymore.
over. A week.
All right, cool.
You get a week and then it's done.
Yeah.
But part of the problem is, you get these people that work in amazing jobs where it's like they don't go back to work until... Like, some people only went back to work last week and that.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Yeah.
I worked all over Christmas and New Year as well, so it's like...
Where were you on the week? Because Nick is a radio presenter. Should this be the first time you're listening to this? Where were you, Nick?
Well, basically, I done my One Extra show, so I do a show on BBC Radio One Extra Saturdays and Sundays, 10 until 1.
Yeah.
So I did that, but I also covered early morning, so I was covering Adele Roberts on Radio 1.
Jeez.
Early, so that's on before the breakfast show, so it's like 4 in the morning until 6:30. So like my alarm goes off at 2:30 in the morning and shit like that. So it's crazy. Weird time of day.
What time do you have to rise then? Like, what time do you have to? Because your alarm goes off. Do you snap out of bed, or do you?
It's mad.
Snoozes?
It's mad because like we've discussed this on my radio shows in the past. Like, are you a snoozer or are you a soldier? That's how we like framed it. Because basically, there's two types of people in the world. The first type is people. Alarm goes off, bang, out of bed. Like one alarm, in the shower, etc., etc. And then the other type of people is like me, where it's like bare snoozing. I'm like snooze, 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 snooze. I like literally, probably I snooze minimum 4 times.
4 snoozes
Minimum.
And how long are the snoozes though? Because
like
I know
they're weirdly on the iPhone. They're like 9 minutes, isn't it?
A 9-minute snooze. I think you can adjust it. You know.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think you can.
Why would the default be 9 and not 10? I don't understand.
That's a sleep. That's a micro sleep.
Oh, okay, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's so stupid though. But yeah, when I do that early show, I just get straight up. Like, it's hard, man. 2:30, alarm going off straight up.
And what about bedtime? How do you?
Yeah, I knew you were gonna ask that.
Yeah, because different people have different techniques. What's yours?
Well, I saw like I don't nap. I know what you're saying. Certain people, when they work early shifts, they'll work, they'll do their work, and then they'll get home, then they'll go sleep for a bit, then they'll get up, do some other stuff, then go sleep, get up, do the show, etc., etc. I just bleach it. Get up at 2:30, do the show, stay awake all the way until about maybe 8 o'clock that evening.
Wow.
Then go to bed about 8 o'clock. It's mad because normally I hear the credits rolling for the one show, and I'm like, fam, I gotta go to bed, you know what I mean? One show's over. Shit, EastEnders about to start. I gotta go to bed.
So how do you catch up on do you have to watch the TV stuff on the iPlayer then, or like watch back to get up to date with your TV?
It is, man. This is a technology podcast. Anyone watch TV on the TV anymore? Live? I mean, there's certain things that you all like. I was having a discussion with my flatmate about this. And there's certain things that will always be like popular to watch live on TV, and the biggest thing is sport. Like sport, unless you're watching Match of the Day, which is like the highlights. If you're not aware, if you're listening from the highlights of the football or soccer, like sport, people want to watch it live. You know what I mean? People want to see it happening then and there. Or the only other thing that people care about watching live, and this is a few select people now, not everybody. Shit like X Factor, stuff like that, because it's live.
Yeah,
people want to watch it live, and the thing is, you've got the whole like tweet along thing now, innit?
That's more entertaining than the show, I find.
Trust me, I was talking again. Say this is all in the same conversation with my flatmate, like, because he always says to me, "You're not even watching the TV. You're just looking at your phone." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm listening to the TV. Like, I'm hearing what's going on, and I'm looking at the tweets, what people are saying. Like, that's part of it now. The viewing experience is enhanced by the second screen."
100%. But you mentioned sport though, Nick.
Yeah.
You're up to some sporting stuff this weekend, because we're recording this today, and this Nintendo episode is going out the day if you're listening to this on a Saturday, the 14th of January, 2 weeks into 2017, then you're hearing this the day it came out. It's hot off the press.
Yeah, exactly.
But
you're getting new shit as soon as it drops.
Yeah, I mean, I think in 2017 for How to Kill an Hour, maybe we should have a bit more of getting stuff out there because people are looking to us now. They want to know our opinion on things.
Listen, when you're an authoritative voice on something, Marcus, you know, when you've got the power like you do, you have your own podcast, you know, people are looking to you. They're not looking to these dead technology outlets of the past.
No.
They're looking to How to Kill an Hour.
No, we're not about megapixels. We're about, can you bring your mates along? That's what we're about, mate.
We're not about the megapixels unless it's like sending nudes and the pictures need to be crisp.
Then we're all about high quality, 1080p,
digital SLR,
4K, 120 frames a second, so we can slow that jiggling down. Yes. But you're up to some sports stuff this weekend, aren't you?
Yeah. So basically, I present the basketball coverage for BBC Sports. So British basketball. This is not NBA. So yeah, this weekend it's the British Basketball Cup final and the Women's British Basketball Cup final as well, both. So the Women's Cup final is the Nottingham Wildcats going against the Manchester Mystics, and then in the men's final it's the Newcastle Eagles against the Glasgow Rocks. Had to remember slightly there. The Eagles are sick though. The Eagles are going to win it.
Is it? Are they crazy?
They're like the best team in the British Basketball League.
Yeah. And what are you actually going to be doing down there?
I'm like presenting it, so it's mad because I don't really know that much about basketball. I'm just gonna be real. Like basketball is not a sport that I'm crazy about, but I was asked to do it, and I've done it once already, and it went all right. Yeah. So I'm gonna do it again.
Awesome. So you're gonna be doing like hey, I'm Nick Bright down here, or are you also gonna be doing some commentary as well? Because I think you got a commentator's voice.
Do you know what? I don't even do the commentary. I just do the like. Let me try and relate it to you, Marcus. I do the Gary Lineker bit.
Right.
You know, like Gary, when a match is on, and Gary Lineker's like, hello, welcome to XYZ. Today we've got this game against these guys. It's going to be great. Joining me in the studios, Dave Smith. Yo, Dave, what are we expecting from the game today? Then Dave talks some shit. Yeah. And then I'm like, cool, nice one, Dave. Nice one. Right now, though, we're going to go over to our match commentators, George Riley and Michael Fassbender.
That's sick though. So you're actually the face of British basketball then this weekend, at least.
Hilariously, yes, it would seem that I'm the face of British basketball on the BBC.
So where can we watch this? Where can we check this out?
It's going to be on the Red Button. So on Sunday the 15th, if that's already gone by the time you're hearing this, you can get it on iPlayer anyway. If you do want to check it out and see what I look like and see me trying to blag my way through talking about basketball. It's going to be on Sunday the 15th. The women's match starts at midday, and then the men's match starts at 3:30.
Cool. I might watch it and see if we can find any trollable moments, Nick, and bring it to the show.
Well, last time I did it, it was just a regular league match.
Okay.
And it was a couple of weeks. It was the start of December, I think. And like at the very end of the show, because for those who may not be like aware or savvy about TV presenting, right? When it comes to sports presenting, most of the time you don't have an auto cue, so you're not reading stuff off of a camera in front of you or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's normally you'll have an earpiece and there'll be someone chatting to you in your ear. So when I'm talking to Dave, who's my studio guest, if I say, so Dave, what are we expecting from the game today? He'll be answering and chatting, and in my ear, someone will be going, right, next you're going to talk to him about this, and this, and then we're going to show the league table and blah, blah, blah. It is a bit confusing because you're trying to listen to Dave and then you got someone chatting breeze in your ear. But at the end of the show last time round, it was like there was a guy banging a drum right next to us, like one of the supporters. He was just like banging this drum, like just going crazy for one of the teams. And I couldn't hear shit. I couldn't hear what the people were saying to me. The girl was trying to chat to me in my ear. She was like, we're going to do this, but it just sounded like over the top of bomb, bomb, bomb. Like this guy banging this massive drum. And then I just didn't know what to do. So I just kept asking the guy bare questions and that. And then she finally said, right, we're going to go to this now. And I said, right, here we go. We'll go to this. And then it didn't even load. And the mad thing is when it don't load, you look like the dummy, innit? Because like everyone's looking at you and you're like, well, when I look at the league table now, yeah, we can't bring you that right now. So instead, and then that gets better. Then I was like, okay, so we're gonna get. She in my ear. She said, right, we'll go to this instead. So then I was like, okay, we'll go to this thing instead. That also didn't work. So then I just turned to my guest, a guy called Rob Paternostro. He's the Leicester Riders head coach. So he's a head coach for one of the teams. Yeah. I just turned to him and I said, it's going well, innit? Like, and just kept it moving.
Standard. That's what you got to do, though, innit? You can't freeze.
Yeah.
Got to keep it moving. All right, so that's Nick Bright. Look for him on the BBC iPlayer.
Peak. Dribbled on my trousers.
Nick's dribbling. I think it's because you know what we're about to talk about, Nick. I mean, to be fair, we're going to name this episode Nintendo Switch, and for the first 10 minutes, people are going to be wondering why the fuck we've not mentioned Nintendo.
They're going to be getting pissed. If that's you right now, getting pissed, well, I'm sorry, man. We got to talk about ourselves.
You know, we got to lube it up. You got to have lubricant, and plus, me and Nick haven't had a sit down yet. You got to let us get, warm in a little piece.
Go straight in. Do you know what I mean? Ask your missus.
No way in life. No. There's no part of life where it's better to just jump straight in. Maybe a swimming pool. On holiday. Apart from that, I wouldn't say you should. Yeah, when it's hot, don't just dive straight in. No. Think about the situation.
Yeah.
Approach it. Yeah. Prepare yourself. Prepare what you're diving into.
Because someone who's playing devil's advocate, for example, might say, but what if there's a smoking 10 out of 10 throwing herself at you, saying, come back to mine? I'm diving straight in. Now, but if she's smoking 10 out of 10, and she's saying, come back to mine now, she's probably crazy.
And you got to game it as well. Yeah, crazy. Yeah. And also, you don't just want to say yes because you're a yes man. You want to go,
exactly. Play hard to get.
Let's have another drink first. And we'll see.
Have you seen, before we talk about what we're going to talk about, one last thing, just leading on from it. Have you seen that? It's quite an old video, so you might have seen it, and don't think I'm trying to say it like it's new. Yeah. Have you seen that video that's like floating around of the like crazy hot scale, and it's like a scientist guy, and he's writing on a whiteboard.
Oh yeah, the guy that's got the graph.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It is
fucking true, Nick.
It's so true.
It's so true.
If you ain't seen it, just search like crazy hot scale on YouTube or whatever. You'll find it. It's just
that's like a strong social science.
He looks like a school teacher type dude. And he's worked out a graph and a formula for like how hot / how crazy certain people are.
Isn't there a sweet spot that says like this is the wifey zone? This is where you need to put a ring on it.
The fun zone. This is your fun zone.
The right mix of crazy. Yeah, man. Anyway, so Nintendo Switch.
Big.
We were very privileged at How to Kill an Hour to go down to the UK exclusive. It was a hands-on event, wasn't it? We got to get our hands on the Nintendo Switch.
We got to go to the iconic Hammersmith Apollo, which is a venue in West London.
Yep.
It's normally a venue famed for like gigs and that. Like I've seen Ed Sheeran there. I've seen loads of people there. In fact, Kendrick Lamar I saw there. But Nintendo got dough, innit?
Nintendo just said, fuck it.
Yeah.
If it's good enough for Ed Sheeran, who at the moment has number 1 and number 2 singles in the UK.
So he's the first... The fact is, he's the first ever artist to be at number 1 and 2 with brand new entries. So rather than like being at number 1, because Justin Bieber's been at 1 and 2, but there weren't brand new entries.
Yeah.
So it's like rather than it being old tracks, 2 brand new entries he released at the same time gone number 1 and 2.
What a guy! What a guy! But yeah, you saw him at the event in Apollo, the Hammersmith Apollo, as it's known, right? And Nintendo kitted it out. And the first thing about the experience, which was nice, was they actually gave us a rundown of all of the old school Nintendo consoles, which kind of showed you the best consoles and the worst.
It's funny, isn't it? Nintendo, the thing is, not every console is a smash. It's as simple as that. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Not every single console, and that's not just Nintendo. I'm talking Sega here. PlayStation have been relatively consistent, I guess, but the PS Vita didn't really do that well, did it? Do you know what I mean? Like, but there was basically a walkway, as you say, after you get into the event, which can I just say took a while, and it was freezing outside, like it was snowing and shit. But once you got in and you got past the front bit, there was this like walkway, and it was almost like a trip down memory lane, almost. You know what I mean? It went from oldest to newest. So either side of you had like different consoles, as Marcus just said, and the ones that I remember off the top of my head, the first one was the original Game Boy and Watch. Then it went to the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES. Then it went to the original Game Boy, I think, and then the SNES, and then I can't remember after that.
N64. I remember getting very excited about the N64.
N64 was there. Obviously, the GameCube was there as well.
Yeah. And then the Wii. Did they have the Wii? Yeah, and the
Wii U was there.
And the Wii U was there. And
Game Boy Color was in there at some point as well. 3DS. Nintendo 3DS was in there. Basically, all the Nintendo consoles you can think of were in there.
And then we got to stroll in, and after a short wait, we got to see the actual Switch console. I mean, should we start with the console first? Because I think that's still an area where, I'm not dissing you, the listener, but I still wasn't 100% sure how it was going to work. I mean, we've all seen the press videos, or most have seen the press videos. But like, how did the actual how does the actual Switch console work, Nick, in terms of docking and all that sort of stuff?
Well, I'll try and tell you as much as I can, because I completely, from an honest standpoint, it's quite complicated even after having a go.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different combinations, it would seem. Like, so what I can tell you is that you can obviously play it as a traditional console through your TV. And when a lot of the games that were demoed at the event were with the two miniature handheld controllers, so a red one and a blue one, which actually make up one controller, but you put a piece in each hand.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a game where you milk a cow, which was quite funny. A game with a samurai sword, and you basically have one of these controllers in each hand. So there's that element.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the I think it's called is it the Pro controller?
There's a Pro controller,
which is a more traditional.
We can get into that in a minute as well.
It's a more traditional gaming controller. Then you've got the two bits that I just mentioned. Are you keeping up here? The two bits I just mentioned, the red and the blue ones, which go in each hand. They can snap on to a screen, which make it look a bit like the original Wii U controller.
Yeah.
So screen, and then the two bits on the outside.
Yeah.
But you can also have these two bits separately.
Yeah.
As another controller.
Yeah. I mean, to go back to the console, just to clarify this, because you're right, Nick. It's really all right. Would this be an easier way of describing it? Should we say that the console, let's call it a tablet?
Yeah.
And the tablet can either be docked into a stand, which will plug into your TV. Yep. So that's one way of playing it.
Yeah.
The tablet, and then you use the control pads, which we'll talk about more because the control pads are amazing. You can use the control pads while it's docked in the television. And they're like, one's in your left hand, one's in your right hand, or there's a Pro version. But if you take the tablet out of the dock, this tablet becomes the screen instead of the TV, and then you put your control pads on each side of it. Is that making a bit more sense?
You can put your control pads on each side of it, but again, equally, you can have the control pads separate.
Yeah.
And then they connect together using another piece. I didn't see that. I didn't actually get hands on with this next bit, but I saw it there in the glass cabinet. There's actually like a middle piece that you can get, which I don't think has any buttons on or anything, but it just goes between the red bit and the blue bit, and it makes it like another small controller.
Yeah.
And then actually we forgot to mention you can get the steering wheel for Mario Kart. Mm-hmm. There's so many combinations.
Or you can use the two parts of the controller.
Well, the two parts of the controller.
Remember when we were playing Mario Kart and we were using each part of the controller.
Yeah, they go into the steering wheel.
Yeah.
It's like there is. It's interesting because there are so many different combinations here. But it was all good going to the event, and I did genuinely really enjoy getting hands on with the console. But then, after I left the event, I read some reviews on the internet and stuff like that of people that had got hands on and watched the actual Nintendo event as well, which happened in the middle of the night. I think UK
4 a.m. UK time. Yeah.
And they were saying, they raised something that I didn't think of. And I don't know why I didn't think of it. It just didn't cross my mind. It was the fact that if you want all these different combinations, all these different parts, it's gonna be a big hit for your wallet.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's worth bearing that in mind, because we like to be real. At How to Kill an Hour, we like to be real with the listeners, because, not everyone's got loads of money. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? Like, it's quite expensive to buy a console at the best of times when you just buy the console. But because there's so many different variants with the Nintendo Switch, if you want them all, be prepared to pay a lot of money. Yeah. I mean, at some point, I'm sure third-party companies will be able to make components for it. But at first, much like when Apple release an iPhone or whatever, there'll be an exclusivity period where it's like you have to buy the official Nintendo stuff.
Yeah, it is pricey. If you think about it from this point of view, Nick, this might make it a little bit less expensive. Instead of having a console for home and something that you take out with you and buying that separately, because obviously there's TV mode, that's the mode where it's plugged in, handheld mode where you have the two controllers on each side, and then the tabletop mode where you have the tablet, the screen, put it on the table and use a couple of controllers. Before this console, you kind of had to buy a few different pieces. So you're right, it's expensive. But I was thinking, in fact, if I'd only bought if I only bought the Switch, I'd have 3 kind of separate consoles in one. Yeah. So that's makes it a little bit less of a hit for the wallet. Still pricey though. Yeah,
I hear what you're saying, because even me right now in my bag right here, I've got 3DS.
Yeah.
I'm just playing Mario Kart 7. Like, it's just basically to pass the time on the tube and stuff.
You're not prepping for when I mash you up at Mario Kart 8.
Oh, I got battered at the event of Mario Kart 8 by Funk Butcher.
Yeah.
But that was bullshit anyway. Like, the AI was too hard. Whoever was in charge of the AI, they were necking it a bit. I was like 9th, right? So I think in Mario Kart 8, as opposed to there being only 8 racers, only 8 characters per race or whatever, I think there's 10.
Yeah.
So I was like 9th. And bear in mind, whenever I've played any other Mario Kart game, old or new, when you're at the back, 1, you get sick items, but 2, like, the people behind you, in this case only one other person, they don't tend to get items where it's like they're just battering you. I was 9th and I was getting fucking bananas. I was getting banana skins, bruv. And like, the guy behind me was getting just bare sick items. I'm like, I should be getting blue shells and like lightning bolt stars and like, I don't think the golden mushroom exists anymore, but you know what I mean? I should
the Infinity Turbos, that was good.
Yeah.
Do you know what, Nick? I'm never ever going to experience that, so I don't think that will ever affect me in the game, because you know me, I'm a top 3 guy.
Listen, if you're listening to this right now and you're sick at Mario Kart, challenge Marcus to a game just so you can slap him up.
If you want to embarrass yourself, I mean, sure, go ahead. Hit us up, howtokillanhour.com. I'm sure there's an email form on the website. Try contact us at your own peril.
Get in touch and smack him up. Do me a favour.
All right, so more about the games in just a bit. So we've spoken about the console. I hope you got your head around it. So just to confirm, there's TV mode where you plug it into the dock, watch it on the TV. Handheld mode where you take the console out and you have the 2 control pads on either side and play the game.
Like the Wii U controller.
Like the Wii U controller. And then there's tabletop mode where you break the 2 controllers off, put the screen on the table, and like Nick can have the right hand side, I can have the left hand side. And this is where it gets interesting, because with the controllers, Nick, the slightly smaller controllers than what I'm used to, by the way.
Well, that's how we were playing Mario Kart, isn't it? Like the last mode you just mentioned, we had the screen standalone.
Yeah.
So it is cool for that. Like,
that's sick.
Like, just think, for example, right? Here's a scenario for you that a lot of people can relate to. You're taking a flight somewhere. You're taking a long train journey somewhere. You might even be going on a road trip. Like, obviously the driver can't play, but you might be going on a road trip or whatever. You can just have that screen standalone.
Yeah.
Imagine how much fun that would be.
Well, there's actually apparently a car thing for it as well, so you can plug in you plug it, like you set it up in your car. And yeah, you're right, Nick. And also, there's the whole seamless thing. Like, within between these modes, it's not turn it off, turn it on again.
No,
you take it out and carry on.
Because that's one of the things that I was wondering, because we've all seen the Facebook advert where it's like the guy like just he's playing it on his screen, and then he takes it straight out of the dock, and then gets on a plane and he puts it on the back of the seat of the airplane and he just carries on playing or whatever. And I thought to myself, Nintendo are lying. I'm like, there's no way that's going to be like, you'll have to reboot it and turn it, do all this shit and blah, blah. You won't be able to just like pause your game and just carry on. But actually you can.
Yeah.
And that for me is like, that's a really cool selling point.
Yeah, it is, man. And yeah, like that's the like kind of what I said, like, you know, you're getting more than one console, I feel, in a way. But yeah, in terms of the control pads, I found them a little small.
You're quite a big guy though.
I've not got the biggest hands though.
Listen,
I found them a little bit.
You know, I don't mean to hot you up on How to Kill an Hour.
Oi.
You know, there's a presenter that she's cool, man. Like, I've never actually met her, but you know, she's out here doing her thing. AJ Adudu. I saw her comment on your Instagram picture, Marcus. You know. Two little heart faces on there with some like muscly like emojis,
and she's a fitness guru as well.
Yeah, she does stuff for Adidas, I think.
Yeah, she's an Adidas fitness guru. Adidas, hit me up, man, if you want a muscle man for your campaign. I think that picture when I was standing, it
was the lighting. I was going to comment on it, but I didn't want to sound like a hater.
No, you should have said it.
I was going to comment on it like the lighting is like being so cool to Marcus here. But I didn't want to sound like a hater.
You should have said that to me, man. You should have said it, because I was there, because people were actually hitting me up in my DM saying, bruv, have you started going to the gym? I was like, yeah, it's just the lighting, man. But that was my picture with Satoru Shibata. I think I said Satoru, the head of Nintendo Europe, who Fung Butcher pointed out. He was like, yeah, that guy's business, man.
Yeah, you could tell.
Who is he?
He was there. He was basically businessman, Japanese dude in a suit. I was like, at a Nintendo event, this guy is important. So we had to work out who he was first, if we're being completely honest about it.
Real talk.
But we did, and you guys got photo with him.
We did, and that photo has done a lot of work for me on Instagram. Shout out to the lighting at Nintendo. Thank you very much for that. But so the controllers, they've also got sensors in them which can scan, and they got like all. Do you know what? With the control, you got to strap them to your wrists. Actually, we want to put that out there as well.
Yeah, they were very
safety conscious. Before I get onto this,
yeah, Nintendo the guys there were very kind of on that as well.
Yeah, it have to be, because you don't want to start throwing them around and mashing them up. But I mean, with regards to the whole package, actually, I've just found some information, Nick. With the basic Nintendo Switch package, you get left and right Joy-Con controllers.
Yeah, that's the red and blue.
Yeah, the wrist strap, the grip, which plugs them. That's when you have the bit in the middle.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
You also get the Nintendo Switch dock, is how you connect it to your TV. A HDMI cable. Because yes, this is also a HD console. You get 1080p, 60 frames a second. I don't think it's 4K yet, but who knows? They'll probably been upgraded in a few years. And each of the accessories, right? I've got the prices in dollars, Nick. So a Switch Pro controller, which is a controller which isn't like the ones we've been talking about. It's like a normal PS Xbox control pad.
Exactly.
Is $70.
Ooh.
Joy-Con controllers left and right, $80.
Oh, so if you want to buy more Joy-Cons,
yeah. If you want to buy one left or right, $50. Charging grip, $30.
Oi, strap it round your wrist, people. $50 for one.
Boy, the wheel too, $15. Oh, that's all right.
That's all right. Yeah. But that doesn't have any that doesn't have any connectivity in it, does it? You just put the controller into just a plastic shell.
You could probably 3D print one yourself as well. Also, with the screen on the Switch, when you take it out of the dock, it's only 720p, but it's only a tiny display. Like, that's cool. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
So
it looked good enough when we were playing Mario Kart. But
exactly.
That's my excuse is that the screen was too far away from, like, functions near to the screen.
Sure. Apparently, battery life is 2.5 hours to 6 hours, depending on the game you're playing.
That could be.
But I'm always skeptical about that. You got to take it into the real world, because to me, I ignore those stats because it's in some factory where they've got it in perfect conditions and temperature.
I think to myself that could be a factor, like based on what I was saying to you earlier. You know, you're taking a long flight, you're doing a road trip or whatever. Road trip could work because, as you say, you've got a plug. Yeah. And depending on what airline you're flying with, you might have a plug as well. But So there are workarounds, but just for those times where you don't have a power outlet. That could be a bit of a shame. Yeah,
we'll see. Actually, before we hop into the games, back to the control pads, because there's so much to them. They've got this kind of special rumble pack in them, where it's I can't remember the name of it for the life of me, but it's a very specific rumble pack where it kind of gives you that, like, there's this game that shows you how expressive it is. There was a game where it's very simple. It's one of the Nintendo Switch games where it was how many balls are in a box. That was all that the game was. There's a box on the screen for one player, box on the screen for the other player. One holds the left controller, one holds the right controller, and you have to move the controller around and guess how many balls are in a box.
You almost imagine it like you don't have a controller in your hand.
Yeah.
You have a box in your hand. So you're just kind of like a wooden box. So you're just kind of moving it around, like side to side, back, forward, and you're trying to feel how many like bumps like in your hand there is, because each bump represents a ball. Marcus was quite good at counting his balls and feeling his balls, you know, as was I.
Extremely good at that.
As was I won. We both won.
We were great ball funders. It's called HD Rumble. That's what they call it.
Right, okay.
I mean, this kind of leads us onto the games. There's the 1-2 Switch games, which are a bunch of simple games which kind of showcase what the control pads and what the Switch can do. So there was that ball counting game. What game would you like to talk about next?
The samurai game, sword game.
Yes, so
which it's a very simple mechanic, man. So basically, like it's a 2-player game. I've noticed a lot of these games. Something that we noticed on the day, they encourage you not to look at the screen, which is like so weird.
Yeah,
because I think what Nintendo are basically trying something new. They're basically going, we're not trying to be Sony or Microsoft. We're not trying to be in the same kind of market as those guys. We're trying to do something a bit more inclusive and a bit more kind of party orientated. Because you could almost take these games, say if you're having a party at your yard, you could easily have these games and like everyone just jumping in and playing the games. Because the Samurai Sword one, for example, how it works, 2 of you are playing at a time, you're looking at each other and you have to like emulate what's going on the screen in terms of like one of you will be hitting the other, or trying to hit the other one with the samurai sword, and the other one will be trying to catch the samurai sword between your two hands.
Yeah.
But you don't look at the screen. So what happens is you look at each other, and then you'll hear, like, you'll see which one of you is going to be the hitter and which one will be the catcher, and then you have to look away from the screen.
Yeah.
And then you'll hear like start or go. Is it start or go?
Go. Yeah.
Words, anyway. And then like basically, it's almost like slaps. You know the game Slaps, where you slap each other's hand and like you have to get the other person to miss. It's almost like that, because it's like you can pretend that you're about to like strike down with the sword.
Yeah.
You can like twitch.
Twitch.
And it's like
sick.
You have to try and catch the sword as quickly as possible. Like,
that's sick.
Marcus won that as well, I think.
I wasn't bad at that. I wasn't bad at that.
You beat Milo, who was there with us, and then I beat Funk, was it?
Yeah.
And then me and you were going against each other in the final round, and Marcus,
it was interesting.
Marcus done it.
It was interesting though, like you said, the focus of the game, because of the mechanics of it, you did not look at the screen. I mean, you look at the screen to see if you caught the blade or not, but that's a whole, I don't think I've played a game where I've been encouraged to look away from the screen ever. And they have other versions of games where you do that. There's like a quick draw game where you like hold the control pad like you're holding a gun in the Wild West. It's like
old school.
Yeah, that's sick. There's another game
the milk one.
Yes, I was quite good at the milking game, where basically you have to toss off the control pad.
Yeah, you look at, and the thing is, the hilarious thing is the guys who were working for Nintendo at the event, they obviously knew that it was a massive innuendo, man, because they were getting like dudes, really. It was like mainly guys to come and play the milk game, and it was like you have to look at each other in the eye, not at the screen, whilst you're wanking off the Wii controller.
Remember, you got to get all the milk out,
jerking it off for our American listeners.
Yeah,
who don't understand what wanking is.
Yes, it was a jerk off game, and I was a good jerk. I managed to get 15 cups out of that cow.
15 cups.
Fuck.
Like, put it this way, I got 6.
Around me, true player for real.
I got 6, so that's how you know Marcus is the chief wanker.
Yes, top wanker, commander in chief of the Masturbation Society. So those are the Switch games. There's like a lock picking one as well, where you can where it's all about you feeling the HD rumble, and then there's the actual titles that are like the blockbuster titles. Yeah, and I mean, and people have said this about the Switch already, Nick. Online, I've seen chat like, oh, there's not enough, but you know, it's not just about banging out all the games. It's about making it work for the console. And I think the games on the Switch have to be suited to the console. There's certain games you can just go put it on PS4, put it on Xbox One.
Yeah, and also for me, it's like, you know, you obviously want to like come in with a bang.
Yeah,
I get that.
Obviously.
But you also don't want to shoot your load too soon.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You don't want to like put all the titles out and then not have a good title for months and months and months.
Exactly. I mean, and they got strong titles. Zelda, which I unfortunately didn't get a chance to play.
I didn't get a chance to play.
Funk Butcher has, so we will talk to him about that on a future episode and find out how that was.
Everybody knows how huge Zelda is as a brand.
Yep.
Come on, man. Yep. Zelda is probably, when you're talking video game characters, probably goes Super Mario, Sonic the Hedgehog, Zelda.
Yeah.
Like, it's that big. You know
legends,
what I mean?
Absolute legends. So that's the new Zelda game that's coming out, which looks really good, and that kind of shows out off the graphics. Mario Kart looked great.
Yeah.
Another way that you can play the Switch. Fuck. There was another table next to us where there were 8 Switches, all connected to Wi-Fi, all playing Mario Kart at the same time.
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't have a go at that.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how that works. So if you're all connected to the same Wi-Fi, you can all just play against each other.
That's correct.
Or can you play against each other if you're not even on the same Wi-Fi? You must be able to.
I asked, and the gentleman said to me, no. I asked, I thought that maybe you could. I don't know. Maybe I think there might be a setup where 2 can play against each other, but I don't know whether that's a Wi-Fi thing again. But if I've got a Wi-Fi hotspot on my phone, 2 things that need to connect, maybe that's what we're seeing when we're seeing 2, because there's a screenshot of 2 people playing Switches, 4 people, 2 on one side playing Mario Kart, 2 on the other side playing Mario Kart. I asked the guy there, and he said you need Wi-Fi. That's what he said. I don't know. We'll see. But to be fair, I'm cool with that though. Like, because Wi-Fi is everywhere now.
Yeah, I mean,
as long as it doesn't take up mad bandwidth. What was another launch title that we played? Splatoon 2.
Splatoon 2 was there. Yeah,
that looked good, real colourful.
Yeah. I mean, the first Splatoon, people were excited about that. You know, the first Splatoon that dropped, because I I think it had been a long time since Nintendo had dropped a brand new kind of franchise, brand new game, and Splatoon was that. So the fact that they've released a second one says that, you know, it must have done really well. Plus, I done the voiceover for it.
Did you?
Splatoon number 1. So if you saw the advert for it on TV, that's me doing the voiceover.
Oh, wicked. Do you reckon you'll get the gig for the second one then?
Probably not.
Oh, maybe.
It was on in the cinema though. Some people would like tweeting me saying like, "Oh, I'm watching this film," and like before the film started, it's just you talking shit about Splatoon.
So that's 60 quid a game, by the way. I may as well throw that out there as well.
Oh, and Arms.
And Arms. Oh shit. Yes. Arms, which I don't know if the developers realised is like a bit of UK slang for a fight.
Yeah.
Is a game about fighting.
I don't think Arms drops on the day of release though. I think it drops in because the console comes out in March, right? And then I think Arms is just listed as a spring release at the moment.
Yes.
It might not be available on the day that the console comes out.
Yeah.
But it was really, really fun.
Yeah. What is Arms, Nick?
It's basically like, best way to describe it is a boxing game where it's 2-player. You can play 1-player as well, but like it's more fun 2-player.
Yeah.
You have a pair of controllers each. So you know the red and the blue again, one in each hand, left and right, and you basically just punch the shit out of the air. That's the best way to describe it. Like, you've got a video that you put up of me going against Funk Butcher.
It's on the How to Kill an Hour Twitter and Instagram as well. So at How to Kill an Hour,
Just like, don't judge me for my boxing technique because it's not the best. But I'm just like punching the air like some maniac.
10 out of 10 for effort, Nick. 10 out of 10 for effort. You were going in.
I still lost though. Against
Funk Butcher was pretty good.
I think it's luck, man, though. I do think it's luck, that game a bit. Because, like, I was doing bare punches where I was punching so fast, shit weren't registering.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I was doing bare punching.
Yeah. He was moving too fast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't registering. Bruce Lee ting, bro.
So, yeah, that's a good game. It's just, again, it's a game that I could see working in a party. I feel like it's got the Nintendo Wii vibe to it.
Yeah.
Like,
there is definitely, like, such a big kind of inclusion factor, I guess, when it comes to this console. It's really not, you can play it solo. I'm not saying you can't play it solo because every game that we played had a 1-player option, but like they've really thought about how can we enhance the gaming experience for like a group of people hanging out together. And I think that's good because sometimes a lot of these games that come out, and I'm not slating these games because you know, some of these games that come out are amazing. They're like films, for fuck's sake. But like, they can cause you to sit in your room alone for days and hours, not talking to anyone.
Communicating.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas this is it's like I said earlier, it's totally different area of the market that they're targeting to Sony and Microsoft. So if you're thinking that, you know, this is like, it's Nintendo is shit, they've lost it, they're you know, blah, 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 they're nothing compared to Microsoft or to Sony. It's totally different. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like comparing a dessert with flipping a cheese board.
Exactly.
Even though sometimes they serve cheese boards for desserts, but I don't get that shit.
Sometimes I do that. Judge me if you want, Nick. I'm just trying to be mature right here, bruv.
Was that a cheese joke?
It wasn't, but you turned it into one. I mean, and as well as that, all of these great titles, like you said, there's a big inclusion. I feel like there's quite a family orientation as well. There was nothing that we saw on the day that was really like, I could not play that with a 5-year-old or a 15-year-old or an old person or whatever. It had that kind of vibe to it. But as well as that, there were some classic titles that they brought back, which we used with the Pro Control Pad, namely Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, there was Sonic the Hedgehog
as well. It's like a new version of Street Fighter they got. It's called Street Fighter. Yeah, Ultra Street Fighter 2. That's it. That was just Street Fighter, if I'm honest. That was just fun. It was classic gaming.
They had like Killer Ken, didn't they? Or like...
Killer Ken.
Like, it was like...
Evil Ryu.
Larry Ryu.
What was that? Giza Guile. That was really good. I've got a whole list
Pub Fighter.
I've got a whole list of... Yeah, Pub Fighter. I'd love that. I've got a whole list of release titles, actually. Or announcements, actually, because we're not 100% with dates. Like you said, the console's out on the 3rd of March. There's the 1-2 Switch, which is a bunch of games which shows what the Switch can do.
That'll basically be like Wii Sport when that dropped, right?
Exactly, just like that, actually, Nick. You're right. Arms, which is the boxing game. FIFA, which is a football game. Fire Emblem Warriors, which we didn't play. Mario Kart 8, which we liked. A new Shin Megami Tensei. I don't know what that is. Rayman Legends.
Oh, okay.
All right. Skyrim. Yeah, Skyrim for the Switch.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
Splatoon, Super Mario Odyssey, Ultra Street Fighter 2. Didn't even mention that because that's another one that's coming out spring, summer, innit?
Yeah, they haven't put a date on it, and there was no hands-on available at the event, but there was a presentation.
Mm-hmm.
We were just too busy playing with the console. I've got to be completely honest.
Too busy enjoying ourselves and eating the good food.
Like, but the Super Mario Odyssey thing, like you had to go and sit down and watch a dude talking about it. I'm too busy playing ARMS.
Nah, we want to play, man. I mean, it's great. Boy, Super Mario Odyssey. It's Super Mario in a sandbox world, 3D. In a real world, actually, in this game. He's going to be running around like real environments past normal-looking people in the game.
Really?
Yeah, the parts that I've seen of it is like him running around a city. So that should be interesting. I mean, it's Mario, so I can't see it doing badly.
No.
One thing, though, Nick, is Nintendo have said this is so you can choose a software. There's no bundle in the console when you buy it, so you also have to buy a game when you buy the console. The console just comes as is, nothing. You know, usually you get a console and there's a little bundle package, like a release game. Not for this, at the moment.
What, you don't even get the Switch?
Nope. Nope.
Wow.
It's another thing people have been complaining a little bit about as well. So it's very interesting to see that. I mean, I'm excited for Mario, though, very much. But, I mean, the positive points of the Switch, definitely the fact that it's very innovative. It's a console that has the potential to change the way we game. It's very social.
Yeah.
The price point, whilst it's expensive, I mean, Nick's right in saying that it's a pricey thing. I'm kind of coming from the angle of if it's your first ever console purchase, which it could be for some younger people.
Yeah.
If you're a younger person, then you know you're getting great value for money in terms of something you can take out and play with you anywhere as well as playing it at home. But I think what remains to be seen is like, are they going to bundle stuff in the future? Because for me, I wouldn't mind a bundle package with a bit of money off the game.
They'll bundle it, man.
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
I mean, they'll probably be bundle packs around next Christmas.
Yeah,
like that's the console's coming out March.
Yeah,
gives them 9 months to kind of get the console settled in and all that, get more releases out ready. There'll definitely be a Super Mario bundle. I imagine in my mind the only reason there's not a Super Mario bundle already is because Super Mario Odyssey's not ready. It's still they're putting they're like
finishing touches.
Yeah, they're Salt Baying it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Salt Bay.
Yeah, they're Salt Baying Super Mario.
Salt Baying Super Mario's, finessing him. So yeah, that was our experience for the Nintendo Switch. I'm excited, and I said to Nick in there, I said, Nick, am I excited because I'm here at the moment, or am I going to be excited about this the next day? And now it's the day after, right? Yeah, it's the day after.
Yep.
And I'm still very excited about this console. Price point high, but if they keep churning out games that give me more than just sitting in a room and playing them, and means I can take them with me with great ease, then I'm invested.
It's got potential. That's what it is, isn't it? The console has really got potential.
Definitely.
And it's always a moment when a new console comes out.
Yeah.
Irrespective of whether it's Nintendo, a new PlayStation console, Xbox, or whatever. It's always an exciting moment.
It is. But so that was our review of the Nintendo Switch. I've been Marcus Bronzy.
I've been Nick Bright. Follow me on all the socials and all that at Nick Bright DJ. That's where you can find me.
Indeed. I've been Marcus Bronzy at Marcus Bronzy on all the socials as well, because me and Nick are organised like that.
Lined up.
Yeah, there's plenty of ways to kill time out there. Thank you for killing some time with us. Bless.